Hi, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to take a look at Aqua Rove, and this is going to be published by Button Shy Games. It's a solo game, and it's also an 18-card game, like most every Button Shy game. Now, there's going to be a lot that comes into this 18-card game here. You're going to be playing through and trying to play through 7 missions to win the game or get stuck down in the deep, deep ocean. Let's go ahead down to the table here. I'm going to show you how to play this game, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to give you my final thoughts. Alright, so this is Aqua Rove. Sometimes even the familiar can be alien. As the Rove, which is a result-oriented, versatile explorer, you are accustomed to the rigors of space, but the impenetrable darkness of the ocean depths is a brand new challenge to confront. In this game, you're going to be trying to go through and complete 7 missions to win the game. If you're able to do this, you'll win. If you're not, you'll lose. This is a solo game, and for the setup of the game, what we're going to do is we're going to shuffle and place out these modules. Now, the modules are two-sided here. There's one side with a star and one side without. The side without means the module was used. The side with the star means that it has not been used. And these are one-time game effects that you can use. And you're going to set these out randomly with the star side up. You're also going to shuffle this deck of cards here, and you're going to place out the current mission that you're going to try to complete. You're also then going to deal out your hand of 5 cards. Okay, we also want to have room for a discard pile, so we're going to place this over here, and our discard pile will be we'll place it over here a little bit farther, and our discard pile will be right above it. Now, this is going to be the hand of cards that you can use in the game here, and we're going to go over how the game works. All right, so gameplay. You're going to tackle a series of missions, each with a unique pattern, and the patterns are going to be on the top here. And arrange your modules in the pattern to complete the mission. And if you can complete 7 of these, you're going to win. Now, for this pattern here, we're going to have 4 of any type that we want along the bottom here. But in this positions right here, we specifically need to have this card and this card. So there are some specific cards that have to be in specific locations. So a couple things with the cards here. So every card has to be adjacent and nothing can be broken. So adjacent can be corner to corner, so that's adjacent, or side to side here. But I can never do this because I can never break the chain of cards here. So every card has to be adjacent to another card in some way, either, and they have these little lines here that help you out. So either on the edges here or corners or something, every card has to be adjacent. And you can't move cards that break that rule when the movement ends. All right, so these movement cards are going to be the big thing that you're going to be using in the game. These are going to be how you're going to make your patterns. This is going to be the number of movement on the top, and this is going to be the type of movement, which we'll go over in a second. And in addition, one of the most important things is getting these bonus movements. In order to get the bonus movements, the 2 modules depicted have to be adjacent to one another. If they're adjacent to one another, then you're actually going to get +1 movement. So this will become 4 movement, and this becomes a much better card. Now, if you complete a pattern and you still have movement left, that card doesn't carry over until to the next pattern. The extra movement are lost. That's one thing you need to keep in mind in this game. All right, so now let's get into what these center means here. So they're all going to have different directions you can go. And they'll list here, like this one can go any direction, this one can only go horizontal, vertically, but this one here is going to be important because it has an arrow. And what this one basically means is you're going to pick one module and you're just going to move it as many of these points as you want. So I can move it up to 2. So you're going to pick one module and move it with this one. And if I had these 2 adjacent, I get a +1 movement. The circle here, you get to move modules 1 space. So you can move multiple modules 1 space each, so that can be very handy. This arrow one's really nice for moving over other modules, as long as you end where you're not on top of a module, because that's not legal, and you end where everything is still connected on the board, either with a corner or an edge, you're good. The final one's going to have this little T at the end here. You can spend 1 movement point, choose 1 module, then move it 1 space in 1 direction shown on the movement card. If it moves into another module, it's going to push them. So this is going to be the push card. So let's say I have something like this, and I move this way. That's going to move this module, and then that's going to move this module. They're all going to get pushed. So that's how these different movement types work for the cards themselves. All right, so if you complete a pattern, so let's say I complete this pattern here, I'm going to place a card over top here. So that's going to be the next one that I'm going to try to complete, and we're trying to go to 7 patterns. If I've completed my 7th pattern, I've won the game. If I have less than 5 cards in my hand, I'll be able to draw a card from the top of the deck here and place it into my hand. While we're playing the game, we'll be discarding cards. If this deck runs out, we'll just shuffle this, and that'll be the new deck there. So we're going to win by completing 7 missions, and we're going to lose if we cannot complete a mission. Now, there are going to be special module abilities that you can use. That's going to be the last thing we're going to talk about. And each of these are going to be one-time effects here. So, for example, this one here, discard 1 movement card, then draw 2 cards. So I can cycle through some cards I didn't like. This one here, I can place a spent module to be adjacent to an unspent one. That's pretty cool. I can swap 2 modules that are adjacent to each other. That's cool. This one gives me +2 movement points, so that's just straight up easy here. The brain here, place an adjacent module in any valid position. So that can be really helpful if I'm getting into a jam there. And this one here is ignore 1 of the current missions required modules, which is also really, really cool. All right, so that's how you play Aqua Rove. Let's go ahead back up to the table here, and I'll give you my final thoughts on this game. All right, so that was Aqua Rove. Component quality is great. Card quality is amazing, just like any of the other Button Shy games. I love this little wallet size thing that you get with the game. Gameplay, I love the Rove series, and this is another one that I really, really like. If you like Rove, this is definitely a must-get game, so this is just an auto for you. If you've never played Rove, Rove Junior, or any other of the expansions with Rove, this game is going to be a great solo game if you like solo games. The puzzle has a lot of replayability on it because every time you shuffle the deck, you get a different set of patterns you have to put out, so a different set of things you got to work through. So there's a lot of replayability in this. Really great game. Have a lot of fun playing it. If I don't play a lot of solo games, but these are Button Shy solo games are quickly becoming my favorite. I like getting these out when I have some downtime. They're really portable. You can take them anywhere. They don't take up much table space, as you saw in the How to Play. Really great. So if you're looking for a great solo game that doesn't take a long time to play, I would highly recommend Aqua Rove. And that's my thoughts on it. Thank you for watching.